Hello, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Michelle's husband, Barack.
Obama did something very smart here. Most of the presenters lose the audience in first 10 seconds. And it's not because they are bad. It's because they try to play it safe. They start with their name, role, and a bunch of boring stuff, which nobody is interested in hearing. But what Barack Obama did here, he started with a surprise, something that is very unexpected, and you can do the same. And today in this video, I will show you 5 ways to start your next big speech. And point number 5 is something you should not miss. So watch the video till the end and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So let's start with the first technique. Check out these 2 openings and notice what they have in common.
What's the scariest thing you've ever done? Or another way to say it is, what's the most dangerous thing that you've ever done?
How do you explain when things don't go as we assume? Or better, how do you explain when others are able to achieve things that seem to defy all of the assumptions?
Notice something? They both start with a question, and questions are very powerful because the moment you ask questions to your audience, they start engaging with your speech. And even if they don't answer to your question, their brain automatically searches for the answers, and in that moment, you have their full attention. Now let's talk about this second technique, and this is the one which I use the most in my public speaking journey.
Sadly, in the next 18 minutes when I do our chat, 4 Americans that are alive will be dead through the food that they eat.
Okay, now I don't want to alarm anybody in this room, but it's just come to my attention that the person to your right is a liar.
Both of them open with a surprising statement. It might be a statistic, fact, or a bold claim. The challenge is what people believe, something that makes your audience go, "What? Is it that true?" And that moment of doubt, well, that is the real attention. First, say the statement slowly and own it. 4. Then take a pause. 4 LPA is the average salary of an engineer in India. Then pause again. Let the surprise land before you move on. Now let's talk about the third technique. This one is simple but insanely powerful. Now I am going to show you 2 of the most viewed TED Talks of all time. And I want you to spot what they have in common.
So I'll start with this. A couple of years ago, an event planner called me because I was going to do a speaking event. And she called and she said, "I'm really struggling with how to write about you on the little flyer." And I thought, well, what's the struggle? And she said, "Well, I saw you speak and I'm going to call you a researcher, I think, but I'm afraid if I call you a researcher, no one will come because they'll think you're boring and irrelevant."
It's funny the things you forget. I went to see my mother the other day, and she told me this story that I'd completely forgotten about. How when we were driving together, she would pull the car over, and by the time she had got out the car and gone round the car to let me out the car, I would have already got out the car and pretended to have died.
They both started with a story, and stories are very powerful because they turn your talk into a movie. The moment the story begins, people stop analyzing and they start experiencing. If you want instant attention, start with a small story. But here's the key. Skip the long background and get directly into the moment. When and where does the story take place? What are you doing? What is going behind that? What is going wrong? Drop your audience directly into the scene. And that's how powerful storytelling looks like. Now let's talk about number 4 technique. At the start of your talk, your audience has one question. What's in it for me? And the next speaker answers that perfectly.
And what I want to suggest to you is that many of you are one well-constructed, one well-delivered talk away from absolute explosion of what it is that you want to do.
Here he starts with a big promise. A big promise tells your audience what they will get by listening to your speech. It's not what you will talk about, but what they will gain. For example, instead of saying, "Today I will talk about body language," you can say, "By the end of this speech, you will get to know every small detail about body language." Now that's a promise worth listening. Now let's talk about the 5th and final point. Now this one I would say is little more advanced, but when you do it well, it's magical.
What?
Both of them start with a visual action hook. And what does that mean? They both don't just say something interesting, they do something interesting, something very unexpected, something that looks slightly odd on stage. Not slightly, actually very odd on stage. And that instantly wakes people up. Now the examples you saw are very powerful, but it's not that tough. A visual action hook can be way more simpler. For example, it could be you walking on stage and say nothing for 5 seconds. You do something very unexpected that makes people curious. So using these 5 techniques, you can improve the quality of speaking in public. And in the next video, we will be talking about much more interesting things. So go and subscribe to the channel right now and press the bell icon so that you don't miss the latest updates. And like the video, share this video with your friends. It might be very helpful for them. And whatever you learn from this video, comment and let me know so that I get motivated to make more such interesting video for you guys. Till then, bye-bye.